What makes some waves travel across long distances, while others seem to be trapped in a box, bouncing around endlessly without going anywhere? The answer to this lies in the concept of waveguides and resonators, which controls how energy behaves within confined spaces. Let's start with a familiar analogy. Imagine an echo chamber. When you shout into an open field, your voice quickly fades away, and the sound dissipates into the air. However, when you shout in a room that has the right shape and smooth walls, your voice doesn't just fade. Instead, it bounces around the room, creating distinct and repetitive echoes. Some echoes may drag on, stretching out as hum, while others may have a rhythmic, shorter repetition like bang bang bang, but the other random noises in the room got cancelled out. The only sound patterns that survive are those that match the room's shape, rhythm, and resonance. This is essentially what happens in the energy sea in the energy filament theory, where waveguides and resonators do something similar. They use walls made of metal or special material shapes to confine and shape the energy sea. They only allow specific oscillating patterns to exist within certain boundaries. Now, think of a waveguide like a long corridor. The walls of the corridor prevent vibrations from moving sideways, only allowing those wave patterns that fit perfectly within the corridor's width to bounce back and forth in perfect rhythm. These waves continue to travel down the length of the waveguide, with their motion confined to the corridor. They can be sent over long distances without spreading out, making waveguides extremely efficient for controlling wave propagation. Resonators, however, are a bit different. They are more like a closed room, an isolated space that restricts the movement of energy in a different way. At first, the energy in the room may vibrate in many chaotic ways, but over time, any vibrations or wave patterns that do not align perfectly with the room's structure will be eliminated. Only those patterns that match the shape of the resonator, those that bounce around the room and return to their starting point in perfect rhythm, will continue to exist and become stronger with each reflection. In physics, we call these specific allowed patterns modes. You can think of modes as the standard movements that a particular space or resonator allows. Waveguides and resonators are not trapping invisible energy in the traditional sense. Instead, they are selecting specific, stable patterns from the vast range of possible oscillations and textures in the energy sea. By creating these controlled environments, they ensure that only a few of the most stable and useful patterns can persist, while others are filtered out. To put it simply, waveguides and resonators work as filters for the energy sea, choosing only those oscillations that fit neatly within their boundaries. They help create stable, organized patterns that can be used for various purposes, such as transmitting energy or carrying information. So, when we talk about modes being the usable field actions, you can picture two very clear images. 1. A long corridor where only certain walking patterns can fit without hitting the walls. And 2. An echo chamber where only specific, rhythmic echoes can continue to bounce around without fading out. These stable and organized oscillations are the modes of the system. And it's these modes that ultimately carry and transmit the energy through waveguides and resonators. Understanding this concept of modes helps us grasp how waveguides and resonators are used to direct and control energy in many technological applications, from fiber optics to microwave transmission to quantum devices. It's not just about containing energy, it's about shaping and guiding it in the most efficient and precise way possible. So, next time you think about waveguides and resonators, remember that they are not simply trapping energy. Instead, they are choosing, refining, and amplifying the patterns that help energy travel and perform useful work. They are the gatekeepers of the energy sea, helping us harness the power of the field in very specific and controlled ways. Tap follow, share it on New Physics, Clear Universe.